and that was fashion design and photography minor as well. That was a 4-year program. They granted me 2 years credit from Baroda. I didn't have to do any academics. And at the same time, I did a fashion illustration diploma. At that time, fashion illustration was a different subject altogether. And so I did that as well. I had my own business for a couple of years. It was a luxury fashion, very high priced merchandise. I did vertical designing. That means I designed the fabric and designed the garment, all of it in one, and sold it to major department stores at a very high price, along with all the designers from Europe and Italy and Paris and all that. After a couple of years, I had to move to New York. Circumstances got me there. And so I was looking for a job in sweater designing. They won't give me a sweater designing job because I didn't know anything about the knitting machines. There in New York City, there were a lot of knitters, outskirts of New York City, New Jersey and all. And you had to learn all the machines, how they work. So I went to learn knitwear technology at FIT New York. It was associate degree. I didn't finish that 3-year program, but they gave me some credits from my Art Institute of Chicago, as well as Fine Arts Baroda. And so I did 3 years there, but didn't finish one class. And then I moved on. And at that point, I was working with children's wear manufacturers. I did junior sportswear. I did some sweater designing. At that point, when I did not know how to do sweater knitting or the samples at that point, I did the entire sweater 24 by 18 inches in design in poster colors and wrote down what the knitting stitches I wanted and whatnot. So I did that for a freelance for a while. And while doing that, I was doing textile artwork as well. I did a lot of textiles artwork for a junior swimwear market, athletic market, activewear, contemporary sportswear, dress. Then I found a job to work out of India, believe it or not. I would come all the way to Madras, do all the vertical designing. I did weave all the fabrics I wanted. All my plaids and stripes got woven in Madras. Then I created the whole collection and we sold it to department stores at a very reasonable ready-to-wear market. So being in the business as long as I have, I did junior sportswear, contemporary sportswear. I did dresses, sportswear at that time. Anything that was separate, top and a bottom with the jacket is called sportswear. What we call sportswear today is athletic wear and active wear. That wasn't the case then. Then yoga pant was just about coming out in the market. So we did all of that with some dresses and stuff. I was there in the 1970s, 75, 1985, 1995, 2005, and here I am in India, 2015, and teaching education. For majority of the school taught in Pune for a couple of years. My father wanted to settle back in Ahmedabad, so we came here. I've been teaching NID, NIFD, and then Surat, I took a little job at Auto School design. So all that experience, kind of now teaching in education, what I think we need to know as your demographics, which is generation X, Y, and Z. In India, we are the highest population, 60 to 62%. It is your age group from 25 to 40 today is the consumer who's buying fashion. So we have to start designing for the amount of money we have to spend it in the department stores. We cannot go buy 50,000 rupees luxury garments, or we cannot go buy 1 lakh garment like Kareena Kapoor wore that was even given to her. She never even wore it or bought it by herself. And Sabyasachi, of course, it's a beautiful artwork. You know, to me, fashion has to walk on the street. It is not a piece of art. It's not going to hang on the wall. You know, you need to have compassion, passion, and it has to have a sellability. Fashion has to sell, and you need to know your consumer. You need to know your client. Just like you would know if you are designing one garment for one customer, you need to know your customer. Same thing if you are designing for West Side or a Fab India or a Bandage in Ahmedabad or Sonam Dave or Rakesh Pratap Singh or Manish Arora somewhere in US, but you need to know who your client is. So for that, the biggest thing one can do as a fashion designer, know your client, know your demographics, you know your country you are at, you need to know the city you are in. And that is where it gives you the confidence to use the sources you have. If Gujarat makes 100% cotton and it does all kinds of embroidery coming from Kutch, Rajasthan, that's what you work with. That's where your artisans are. And that's where the newest after post-COVID 19, that's the direction fashion will be going. It might not be as reasonable as West Side. It might not be as reasonable as H&M, but it might be a little bit higher because now we are paying artisans and we want to pay the right amount of to labor. So, but then we're not going to buy that many garments. So instead of buying 5 garments at 2,000, you might buy 2, and that's reasonable. So the prices would be a little higher. So my prediction of going forward, we need you as a whole team to be a designer for tomorrow. And you have to understand what your needs are, because that's the 62 to 65% of Indian population. I hope you're beginning to understand. And the most important thing I want all the designers to be, to do 10 design sketches every day. Every day. Do not fail. Like any poet writes, he goes on writing. He doesn't stop. He stops on every day. He writes. A writer writes it. Actor acts something or the other. Writer who writes a story for movie, go on writing it forever. You as a fashion designer, you cannot just design 2 garments for the next day. That doesn't happen that way, you know? So I highly recommend you get your sketchbook, your paper, a pen, and start sketching 10 a day. Now, I don't want you to do full illustration, like all the shadings on the skin and all the textures on the fabric and all of that. Let the illustration guide you, the illustrations work. Anybody saying something? No? Anyway, so I'm walking down on the street. I'm going to the mall, Alpha Mall. I suddenly got an idea that this is what I want to design. I have my sketch pad, small one, of course. I write it down. I wrote it down. I draw it down what I want. I have to start thinking everything every day, colors, stories, and minute you start drawing as much as you do, you would figure out what the trend would be for the next season. All the trends that already happened and already done. So you need to do research on for the next collection, 2018 spring summer, 2019 spring summer, and 2020 spring summer. Knowing what is already done, you would know what sold and what hasn't been sold. And what can you do being in the city you are in? You need to have your fabrics on hand, or you create it. You get white goods, you dye it, you do tie-dye, you do bandhani, you do laheria, whatever you want to do. Then you want to do kantha, go ahead and do the kantha embroidery. You want to do 3D applique, you want to do 2D applique, you want to do silk screening, you want to do digital printing. These are the tools for fashion designer to work with. Along with all the fashion details, gathers, pleats, tucks, those are the tools you need. And you need to know and be passionate about what you like to work with. And that would be your brand. Some people would love to do ruffles. Some people hate ruffles, would not like to touch it. Somebody only want to do kantha embroidery and would not like to do applique. So kantha embroidery becomes your brand, becomes your signature, you know. So when you start doing a collection, by that time you already know the fabrics you have, kind of artwork and surface embellishment you're going to do on it, you would know. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear. Somebody speaking something? Let's just see, nowadays, of course, way before COVID-19, they were even thinking of not doing so many runways. They had resort runway, they had spring summer runway, they had a pre-fall runway, they had a fall winter runway, they had a holiday runway. So all these 5, 6 are now disappearing for 2 runways, maybe. Spring, summer, autumn, winter. Okay, we had menswear runway separate, women's wear runway separate. Now we're going to have menswear, women's wear all on the same runway. Along with Dolce & Gabbana did children's running on the thing too. So at that point they did 60 to 80 to 120, 150 piece collection. What I want you to start thinking, let's just say you want to do 30 piece collection, small. Okay, now you pick who you want the collection to go for. You want it to sell it to Zara, you want to sell it to Westside, you want to sell it to Fab India or H&M or Forever 21 from China. I hope not. Hope not. H&M is from Sweden. Zara is from Spain. Spencer is from UK. So who's here from India? Think about it, right? So you have to think, you need to design for a clientele in India. Pantaloon, Shoppers Stop, West Side, 30, 40 piece collection is good enough. So now you need to think what trends are. For example, of course you have to do inspiration board, a mood board, style board, fabric board, history board, color board, but I don't expect you to do all that, because by the time you do all that, time is gone. For ready to wear, you don't have that much time. You get inspired from a couple of your trends. Then you need to have a harmony for different trends that can go like a needle and a thread. You know, you should be able to put all your trends together one after the other for your runway. Each trend would be 5 or 6, for example, 5 or 6 styles or look for the lookbook or your group sketches that you do. So for example, I got inspired by butterfly, for example. Okay, so now I'm thinking I would make my mood board with different kind of butterfly, different kind of flowers would come in, because what good are the butterflies without a flower? So my second trend might be flowers. My first trend is butterfly. That's my mood. That's my inspiration, right? So now I'm thinking, how would I go about representing my idea, my inspiration into a collection? So let's see, I want to do 3D application of the butterfly. I put it on the shoulder, dancing away. My butterfly comes here. Or I want to make a print of a butterfly. Maybe I want to do a flower as a butterfly along with it. Maybe I want to do 2D applique flat. Maybe digital printing. So here comes my 6 garments of butterfly. There comes my next inspiration is a flower. So that's my another 12 garments. That's how you go on building your whole collection. From 6 to 12, another 12, another 12, another 12.
Okay, Varsha ji, could I just step in for a few minutes?
Sure, please.
Yeah, so there are a lot of students here who have a little difficulty in understanding English. So I'll just give a little gist of whatever you've said till now in Hindi, so that we all get onto the same page.
Okay.
Would that be fine?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, Pallavi, if you could just give a little summary of whatever we've been discussing till now.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. So what is happening is, ma'am बोल रहे हैं कि वी हैव टू, मतलब हमें स्केचिंग करना डेली बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है किसी भी फैशन डिजाइनर के लिए। एंड सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट ये है कि फॉर रेडी टू वेयर या हमारा जो नॉर्मल डिजाइन प्रोसेस है, हम उसमें स्केचिंग करते हैं, उसमें डिफरेंट टाइप के बोर्ड्स बनाते हैं, हर चीज बनाते हैं। लेकिन व्हेन आपको एक रेडी टू वेयर कलेक्शन बनानी होती है, जैसे कोई भी आपके नॉर्मल रिटेल स्टोर में सेल करने के लिए, चाहे ज़ारा है, H&M है, सो उसके लिए हमें पूरा प्रोसेस करने की टाइम नहीं होता है। तो अगर हम कुछ देखते हैं और हम उससे इंस्पायर होते हैं, तो हमें इमीडिएटली उसको ड्रॉ कर लेना चाहिए या नोट डाउन कर लेना चाहिए, सो दैट कल को अगर हमें कुछ भी एक लाइन या एक कलेक्शन बनानी हो तो हमारे लिए इजी हो। तो हमारे अगर फॉर एग्जांपल हम बाहर जाते हैं और जैसे मैम बोल रहे थे कि हमारी मैम की इंस्पिरेशन एक बटरफ्लाई है, सो अगर मैंने डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ बटरफ्लाई से इंस्पायर होके एक लाइन बनानी है, क्लोथिंग लाइन बनानी है, तो मैं उसमें बन कर सकता है कि मैं उसमें फ्लावर्स इंक्लूड कर दूं और उसको डिफरेंट वे में प्लेस करके क्रोकीज बना के एक अपनी लाइन डिजाइन कर लूं।
Very good.
Okay, Varsha ji, we can carry on now.
Very good, very good. I'll try to speak in Hindi, but I'm not
Yeah.
that fluent.
But it's okay if you could just give us a time after every 15 minutes, so we'll just summarize it and then we'll carry on.
Definitely lovely. I love like that.
Okay.
So anyway, so we have butterfly, like we have 6 garments for your collection. We added flowers that goes with it. It's like a sui dhaga, one trend to the other, to the third. It all has to be in a harmony. So when you have a runway of 30 garments going in, it does not, you don't jump from one to the other. That you want to explain that a little?
I'll explain that. So जैसे मैम कह रहे हैं कि अगर भी हम बटरफ्लाईज और फ्लावर्स को कंबाइन करके हम कुछ बनाते हैं, so हमारे पास अगर टाइम नहीं है पूरा प्रोसेस करने के लिए, तो हम एक ऐसी इंस्पिरेशन और ऐसा कुछ एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हैं जो इमीडिएटली रनवे पे हम दिखा सकते हैं। तो ज्यादा टाइम नहीं लगेगा उस बात पे। अगर हम कुछ को किसी चीज से इंस्पायर होके, बहुत सारी चीजों से इंस्पायर होके एक प्रोडक्ट बन जाता है, तो हम उसको इमीडिएटली रनवे पे दिखा सकते हैं फॉर रेडी टू वेयर।
Right, very good. Now for ready to wear, there are a few other categories that I want to explain to you. We have different markets. We have toddlers, we have children wear, we have teens, we have junior market, we have contemporary market, and we have a plus size, which is bigger and better sizes. Then we have that again in menswear and women's wear. So you have so many variety to design from. So you need to know which market you are going in as well, and what age group you are targeting to design. Zara has children's wear in the same shop as a men's wear as well as women's wear, junior and a missy garment, and dresses and sportswear. Right. And then there are other categories, which is like active wear, athletic wear, swimwear, separates, casuals, dresses, separates, I said, casual wear, dresses, sportswear, and all of that. That you need to know too, that what would you be designing and who are your clients. So there is a vast family of things you can design for. And you should be aware of where you are going, which department, which store. Even if you make your own small boutique, you need to know who the client is going to come to. But the price point has to be from now on under 15, 20,000 max, and 5,000 is the best.
Okay.
Pallavi?
So मैम इज सेइंग कि जैसे हम लोग रेडी टू वेयर देख रहे हैं, हमारे पास बहुत सारे कैटेगरीज होती है। कुछ कैटेगरीज होती हैं जो एज वाइज डिवाइड होती हैं, और कुछ कैटेगरीज हैं जो क्लोथिंग वाइज डिवाइडेड है। सो एज वाइज अगर हम देखते हैं तो हमारे पास टॉडलर इज फ्रॉम 0 to 1 years, विच आजकल हमारे लोग मॉम एंड मी वाले स्टोर्स में भी मिलता है। तो इट्स फ्रॉम टॉडलर्स, देन यू हैव स्मॉल किड्स, देन यू हैव टीन्स, प्री टीन्स, ठीक है, एंड गोइंग ऑन, देन यू हैव डिफरेंट साइजेस। फॉर एग्जांपल प्लस साइज मार्केट इज आल्सो देयर, और बीच में बाकी सारी जितने भी एज वाइज है, फ्रॉम बोथ मेन विमेन दोनों के लिए एज वाइज गारमेंट्स है। उसके बाद जो मैम ने दूसरी बात बताई, उसमें ये है कि डिफरेंट काइंड्स ऑफ क्लोथिंग के जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल एक्टिव वेयर, स्पोर्ट्स वेयर, लीजर वेयर, सेपरेट्स। एक्टिव वेयर, स्पोर्ट्स वेयर, लीजर वेयर आर बेसिकली स्पोर्ट्स वेयर कैटेगरी, बट उसमें भी अलग अलग चीजों के अलग अलग चीज करने के लिए अलग अलग आपको टाइप के कपड़े पहनने पड़ते हैं. जैसे आपके जिम क्लोथ अलग होंगे, आपके साइकिलिंग क्लोथ अलग होंगे. सेपरेट इज बेसिकली अगर आप पूरा ensemble नहीं खरीदते हो एक स्टाइल का, बट अलग अलग टाइम पे अलग अलग चीजें खरीदते हो. जैसे हम कुर्ता कहीं से खरीद लिए और लेगिंग्स कहीं से खरीद लिए, इट्स बेसिकली दैट इज अ डिफरेंट कैटेगरी. इट कैन बी वन एज वेल एज डिफरेंट. तो और डिफरेंट जैसे बाकी मैम ने बोला प्लस साइज में डिफरेंट डिफरेंट चीजें, तो इन सब की कैटेगरीज के हिसाब से रेडी टू वेयर की बहुत ही बड़ी मार्केट है.
Then when you choose the fabrics, you have all the processes of printing you should be aware of. You're going to do silk screening, you're going to do tie-dye, you're going to do block printing, you're going to do ajrak, you're going to do laheria, you're going to do ombre effect, you're going to do shibori, whatever. You're going to do digital printing. You need to know the limitations of all of that. But like I'm saying that now from now on, you're not going to make 1,000 pieces of the same. You're going to make a limited ready-to-wear collection most of the time, like 100 pieces, 200 pieces, sent, approximately in your own neighborhood. People are not going across the board, over the country, over the state borders and all. Use your own artisans, what they can produce, and put it in your own shop. This is where the limitations from now on is going to be. So you really need to know what all the fabrics you're going to have. And then, for example, if you're now working with a butterfly and flowers, you might want to add stripes to the flowers going forward. You might want to add some checks. You want to transit that into architecture, thin lines, bold lines, into the flower. You might want to use ditzy flowers, which is smaller flowers. You want to use bold flowers, like one flower in the whole garment, printed in a digital form, and then do some beadwork on the side, just a very little, you know. So all of these surface embellishments and what you can do is very important. You need to know that, and how you're going to draw that, and how you're going to explain your tailors, your masters for pattern making, construction. And the other most important thing, you need to know your own pattern making. You need to know all your construction, so you can tell masters what to do. Otherwise, masters would be on top of your head telling you what you should do and not you should not do, and that's not fair. Technology is going to be front and center from now on. You know, I give you a small little example. When bicycles came in, I believe 1920s or somewhere there, till then we were wearing skirts. Suddenly the skirt got divided into a half, and that became pair of pants. So see how technology even came in then, at that time, and how it changes. Same thing, yoga pants came in the 60s. When we started getting spandex, lycra, jersey, knit, got introduced in the market. When the fabric got introduced with the new technology, we came up with something new again. Same thing, the mask came in from COVID-19. We never thought mask could be one of the accessories, but it has to be breathable. You cannot have so much so in the front of it, you know, that you cannot breathe. So now the technology is going to come in to figure it out, what fabric would be the best to design that. You know, so technology is going to be forefront coming in. And now another thing, before I go, Pavin, you want to explain it before I go?
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am अभी ये कह रहे हैं कि with the period of time हमारी टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलप होती गई, एंड हमारे क्लोथिंग में भी टेक्नोलॉजी की वजह से चेंज आता गया. एंड विद द करंट सिनेरियो कोविड-19 और एवरीथिंग है, तो हर चीज लिमिटेड होगी, बट इजीली बनाएंगे लोग, सो दैट जल्द से जल्द लोगों को चीजें अवेलेबल हो जाएं. सो बेसिकली मैम सेज कि टेक्नोलॉजी इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, क्योंकि विद द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम अभी सबसे ज्यादा रोल टेक्नोलॉजी का ही होगा, ताकि फास्ट आपकी you can make things जो जल्दी बन सके चीजें, and उतनी जल्दी लोगों को मिल सके.
Very good. Demographics. And when you have time, being a designer, you really need to know a few more things in demographics. What is the greatest generation? What was the silent generation? What's Gen X? What's Generation Y? And what is the Generation Z? Greatest generation was born between 1901 to 1924. Their likes and dislikes and wants were a lot different. Then the silent generation from 1924 to 1949. After that, Generation X, and then Generation Y, and Generation Z was from 1995 to 2015. Generation Y, 1980 to 95. And that's about 40% of your today's population, and 65. So when you do research, there are a few things you need to know. Which city you are in, what is their craft, what are the artisans around, what state you are in from, what kind of embroidery that goes on the sari, what kind of brocade, what kind of weaving happening, what are the history of that particular state. And now you have to start working on the trends. What were the trends in your state? What was the thing that global fashion had as well? What was Spring Summer 2018? What was in 2019? What was in 2020? 2020 spring is already gone. Just about think about it. The shops are right now not full under the circumstances, but all the garments are in from February on for the spring, summer, you know, and by June comes around, it'll be fall and winter coming in. A couple of years before that, you need to know the company you are working with, what they sold and what did not sell. That is the important data you need to have. Suppose you're working for Zara. Why are they selling these things off at 50%, 60%, 70%? Because it did not sell. Why did not it sell? What was wrong with that part of the collection? Did it not fit? The colors weren't right? Or the customer weren't right? Or was it just the circumstances and pandemic that nothing sold? Right? So you need to know that. Then you need to know what really sold. What were the core of the core item that sold the most, that you can go forward with. You know, suppose you had a blouses with a lot of sleeve details that sold the most because that was the biggest trend. The pants that sold was a little bit wider and a little bit cropped. So those sold, but typical A-line skirt or typical narrow pant did not sell. Maxi dresses sold, but short kurtis did not fly. So all this you need to know. All of this has to be part of your research. So when you do again for the next time, you do not repeat and do the same mistake. So you work on it 3 or 4 seasons, by then you are a master and nobody can fire you at the company because you know the best. You know your customer, you know what company can do or cannot do. The mill who's gonna support you would know what you would buy, what you won't buy. You start telling them what you need. You tell them that these are the colors I wanna work with. And in your collection, when the 30-piece collection or even 60-piece collection start out, you start with the very mellow colors, neutral colors, core basics. Then you go a little bit forward in the trend, going forward with another 10 to 20 pieces. Then they are brighter colors. And suddenly the last finale is the exotic and the avant-garde, and might not sell, but it's okay. It is good to have that 1 or 2 pieces in a collection that press wants to put it on the newspaper, but would not sell. You understand, right? So, Palvin, समझा sir?
Yes. So basically इसमें है कि हमें हमेशा ट्रेंड्स के बारे में सीजन के अकॉर्डिंग जो भी हमारे ट्रेंड्स होते हैं उनके बारे में पता होना चाहिए. एंड एग्जांपल इफ यू आर वर्किंग इन अ कंपनी, आपका एक ग्रुप ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स होता है एक सीजन के हिसाब से, चाहे वो स्प्रिंग समर हो या ऑटम विंटर हो. सो हमें पता होना चाहिए कि हमारे उस सीजन में हमने क्या प्रोडक्ट्स बनाए थे और वो कैसे सेल हुए थे, एंड दूसरे सीजन में हमने क्या प्रोडक्ट्स बनाए थे और उनमें से क्या सेल हुआ था. एज लॉन्ग एज वी नो कि हमारे कंपनी में से क्या प्रोडक्ट फेवरेबल है और क्या सेल होता है, एंड उसके अकॉर्डिंग ही हम कमिंग सीजन्स में वैसे ही सिमिलर प्रोडक्ट्स बनाए और हमें पता होता है कि वही सेल होंगे. सो इट्स गुड फॉर आवर रेपुटेशन एंड इवन कंपनी की रेपुटेशन, क्योंकि हमें पता है कि उस उस प्रोडक्ट को सेल करने से हमारे कंपनी का बिजनेस बढ़ता है। सो बेसिकली बात है कि आपको ट्रेंड्स का पता होना चाहिए, कस्टमर की डिमांड का पता होना चाहिए कि कस्टमर को क्या ट्रेंड्स चाहिए, और उस अकॉर्डिंगली आपकी कंपनी को डिजाइन करना चाहिए, ताकि आपके पास एक ये पोजीशन हो कि आप बता सको कि आपकी कंपनी मार्केट में क्या उसको भेजना चाहिए और क्या उतारना चाहिए और क्या नहीं।
Another thing, it's kind of very important to know that not everything you design is going to be successful. And so whenever you start designing something, you normally feel like, oh my God, I don't know if this is right, this is wrong, whatnot. Sometimes you go on doing it, it'll come naturally to you. And if you do a 25-piece collection, maybe 80% is not going to sell. And 80%, the buyers might not even buy. Maybe that 5 garments that you did, that they bought for Zara, you might have to do a different version for H&M. You might have to do the same thing, very different color scheme for something else. But the other 15, 20 didn't sell. And not worry about it. You're learning from that too. It's a process. Design is a process, ongoing learning process. Every season, I learned something different than what I did before. You know, I learned a little different way of stitching. I learned different top stitching. I learned different way of cutting. You know, I did forget to mention that I did lingerie for like about good 20 years. And so I learned a lot, what sell, what didn't sell, how I can finish it faster, how I can make it cheaper, how I can make it more exotic looking than the previous collection that I had, you know. And then of course comes photo shoot. You normally make a catalog for the lingerie, for the sweater designing, and for the contemporary design. Buyers came and looked at the garments and bought it. We had some runway shows for that, but not all the price point would have a runway. Like Zara would not have a runway. H&M may have it, but maybe not, you know. But the designer collection would have a runway. And the buyers would come. But this is the news for you. Last collection, no audience was there at the fashion runway. Giorgio Armani in Italy, he showed the entire collection and told all the buyers not to come because of social distancing. So now the fashion industry is changing rapidly in how they're going to show the collection, who's going to come see the collection, or would this be all online? And they might have show on the runway at home and show it to everybody else. Like we have taken classes online. Runway would go online now, you know, and whatever they select, they have a different version. Zara don't want the same pieces that H&M has. You might have to change the length. You might have to do a different sleeve. You might have to do something different to it, you know. And now I'm coming to the nitty-gritty of the designing. Okay, if you are designing 30 pieces, you're not going to have 60 fabrics to design that 30 collection. Okay, जो मिल्स के पास आप काम कर रहे हो, वो मिल के आदमी के पास, बॉस के पास इतने सारे पैसे नहीं है कि एक गारमेंट में 5 फैब्रिक आप लगाओ. So क्या होगा? If you have one group of 6 garments, you're going to have 1 print, 2 solids to go with it, and maybe 1 little fashion detail you can do, and now you make 6-piece collection out of that. Same print would be 1 pair of shorts, 1 pair of long pants, maybe 1 skirt and 1 top. So now look at it and think about it. You go to West Side, you would see the same fabric in a short kurti, you would see the same fabric in the blouse, and you would see the same thing in a maxi dress. And why is that? Because you as the 3 girlfriends going to walk in a West Side, one wants to wear a maxi dress, one wants to wear a blouse, the other one wants to wear a kurti. And there are solid chudidar or palazzo or something that goes with it. And that's a collection. So when you have 6 themes, you only have 2 or 3 garments. So let's see, 6, 2 and 3, Chadwar, 12 to 15 fabrics. And he has to buy 1,000 meters of each. Huh? So he has to invest a lot of money for that. You understand? But can you explain that?
Yes,
Paula?
yes, ma'am. So बेसिकली पहली बात है कि जरूरी नहीं है कि जो भी हम बनाएं या जो भी हम डिजाइन करें एक कंपनी के लिए तो वो सारे के सारे प्रोडक्ट्स बिके. अगर हम लोग 15 चीजें डिजाइन कर रहे हैं तो इट्स नॉट इम्पोर्टेंट कि सारी 15 की 15 चीजें आपके बायर को पसंद आए और वो सेल हो जाएं. सो ये हो सकता है कि उसमें से 5 बहुत सारे बायर्स आए और उसमें से 5 या 10 चीजें सारे बायर्स सेलेक्ट कर ले और बाकी की जो बची है वो नहीं सेल हो. सो दूसरी बात ये है कि जब आप एक एक्सपोर्ट हाउस में काम कर रहे हो या एक किसी भी कंपनी में काम कर रहे हो तो अगर आपके 5 या 10 डिजाइन है तो जरूरी नहीं है कि उसको करने के लिए आपके पास 40 या 50 पेयर ऑफ 50 क्लॉथ के टाइप्स हो कि हम उसको हर चीज को अलग अलग बनाएंगे. तो एक थीम के अकॉर्डिंग एक फैब्रिक से 3 अलग अलग चीजें बन सकती है. जैसे मैम ने वेस्ट साइड में बोला कि एक ही कपड़े की मैक्सी ड्रेस भी होगी, शॉर्ट कुर्ती भी होगी और लॉन्ग कुर्ती भी होगी. उसको पेयर अप करने के लिए डिफरेंट डिफरेंट चीजें होंगी. सो सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि पहली बात कि आप जरूरी नहीं है कि जो आप सब कुछ बनाओ वो सेल हो और वो मार्केट में आए, जरूरी नहीं है. और दूसरी बात ये नहीं है कि अगर आप बहुत सारे डिजाइन बना रहे हो तो आपको वो बहुत सारे डिजाइन बनाने के लिए भी डिफरेंट डिफरेंट टाइप का फैब्रिक्स मिले. लिमिटेड फैब्रिक के साथ साथ भी डिफरेंट प्रोडक्ट्स बना सकते हैं.
Even on the global scale, when you see Saint Laurent, Giorgio Armani, Valentino, Oscar de la Renta, Dolce Gabbana, all of them, when you start looking at the collection from now on, you would see they are using the same fabric. One is made a skirt, one is made one pair of pants with it, and a jacket of the same fabric. And sometimes you have a long jacket and a short jacket. It is a lot easier for tailor to cut that. Or same thing, like I said, of the maxi dress and a short kurti. Maxi dress just got cut shorter, and it's easier for tailor to take the same pattern and just cut it. A crop top and a long top, crop pant and a long pant, short or the mid calf, mini dress or a maxi dress or a midi dress, right? And you could have a denim, but then with denim you might have some plaid or check or something like that, or you might have a camouflage fabric if the camouflage is in the trend. And sometimes the trend go from season after season, and sometimes 3 seasons in a row works. First it starts out at a very low, then it picks up its speed, and then it slows down. And sometimes the reason why that is, the mill bought 1,000 yards of fabric. Okay, I'm a manufacturer, I only sold some. So I'm going to put some things in camouflage anyway. But what I might do is, this time I put it with the black fabric. Last time I might have put it with the green fabric. It might look different. I might have done different things with it. So that is the harmony of one company going forward, and always kind of look somewhat similar going forward. You cannot, it's like a river flow. Your collection has to, it does not take 90-degree angle and turn, you know? So your collection has to be a smooth sailing like a river, you know? Harmony is the key point. And 30% of your collection should be like a basic, core fabrics. You might do a very little touch, maybe some tucks, maybe some ruffle, you know, maybe nothing. I am a minimalist. I like nothing on the garment, but then my garment shapes are much different. I like to work with the shape of the garment. I don't like everything fitted, and I don't like everything with a princess line. And I don't want 4 or 5 dots in the garment. I want loose fitting, comfortable, and of course, from now on, we are going nowhere. So we're gonna be at the home, we're gonna be doing loungewear, we're gonna be designing sleepwear. That's where our emphasis is going to be. We are not going to marriages, and we're not going, of course, we are going to some extent, you know, 100 people marriage, we're not gonna be 1,000 pieces. We're not gonna spend lakhs and lakhs of rupees in wedding gowns. And sometimes I've been looking at some of my WhatsApp and my Facebook, and that everybody's getting married online. One is in Calcutta, the other one is Mumbai. Got married. voila, you know, and so it happens. Things are changing, you know. So you have to be very much aware of social, economical, science, technology, pandemic that got thrown at us. So all of this reflect of what we might be doing. You know, I think all of that might come around, but you know, 2 months go by, we find a vaccine, and we'll be back to square one, and that's possibility as well. You know, but I think it will take a couple of years. It would take our economy to come back about 2 to 3 years to come back and go back on the swing again. You know, anyone has more questions? And Pallavi, you want to explain the last few words?
Yes.
Yeah.
So मैम says कि किसी भी कलेक्शन के लिए या हम बिजनेस में कुछ भी बनाते हैं, इन्वायरमेंट, इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी, एवरीथिंग उस पर डिपेंड करता है. तो फिर करंट सिनेरियो में अगर हमारी इंडस्ट्री दोबारा फ्लरिश करना शुरू करती है तो हमारा बेसिक एजेंडा विल बी things which are easily available to us. For example, sleepwear, loungewear. Everybody would like to, and you know, normal daily wear clothing will be more preferred because we'll not have any big functions. We might have marriages at a lower level, but the market will not be very big. मतलब market इन सब चीजों की इतनी बड़ी नहीं होगी जितनी बाकी सब की होगी. जो generalized market है हमारी clothing की वो ज्यादा बड़ी होगी instead of बाकी सब. So एक कंट्री की इकोनॉमिक, सोशल और बाकी सारी जो भी जितनी भी प्रायोरिटीज हैं वो भी फैशन इंडस्ट्री और गारमेंट इंडस्ट्री पे अफेक्ट करती हैं.
We can open up for questions if anyone has.
Yes.
Hello.
हाँ, you have a question?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a question?
Yes, ma'am.
पूछ लो.
Ma'am, I have defined so many times about the Zara. Is there any relation for the Zara? Means they know personally or very closely they know about the Zara. Means they have said a lot of times about the Zara. Is there any problem or is there any problem in their fashion designing or fabrics or there is any problem?
Any problem designing for Zara?
Yes.
Not that I know of.
Ma'am, because so many times we have discussed about the Zara in this in this meeting, you have said about the Zara that there is many problems. You have said about.
I didn't say many problems.
Fashion.
I gave an example of what ready to wear is about.
Yeah, just stepping in. There is no problem with Zara as such. All ma'am was doing was taking Zara as an example. कि
Okay,
अगर
okay.
Zara में आप डील करते हो तो Zara कैसे काम करता है, आप उसके साथ एक एग्जांपल लेके अगर Zara कोई चीज बिक रही है या नहीं बिक रही है, so that was just example. There's nothing specific that we're talking about any
And
company.
so many times I have observed that the designs are continuously simultaneously they are going to repeat at the time of age. Sometimes such as batik, the shibori, so many people like, but after the age of time they are not going to like that. After 3 years, 4 years, they are going to repeat. That I just want to ask. Hello.
Fashion always repeats.
Yeah.
Fashion goes in a cycle. 1910, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. They always come around. It's always old that becomes new, and we put it out there. You know, there are new things that comes in because of technology. You know, and
Yes, ma'am.
some designers are very innovative. You know, they do inventions a lot, and all of that. That is important, but not all designers can do. And not all customers gonna wear something totally different that they wore from last time. Like if I would take you to the shop, you are wearing a t-shirt. You're not gonna go wear a long kurti. Maybe, I'm thinking,
Yes, sir.
you know,
Yes, sir.
you might just buy a t-shirt with a different color, maybe different print, different neckline. Even if I tell you you are wearing what we call a jewel neck, if I tell you wear a square neck, would you wear it? Hell no. You're not going to wear it. Tell me, would you? Okay.
Yeah,
If I
yes, sir.
tell you you're going to wear a t-shirt without the sleeves, no.
No.
Okay. So there we have the answer.
Yes, ma'am.
You know.
Thank you, ma'am.
Any other questions?
Yes, ma'am. Can I ask one?
Ask.
Ma'am, actually, I want to know that which kind of fabrics can be used while we think about a ready-to-wear, garment, and one might use one fabric for the whole garment. But if anyone wanted to use two other cloths, so what are the fabrics that can mix up together well?
Ready to wear is basically ready to wear. You don't have choice. It is ready in the shop and you take it out and you wear it, is why it's called ready to wear. You don't have an option. If you want an option, you go in a fabric shop, buy a fabric, you give it to the tailor, get it made. That is part of the luxury fashion design process, whether it is 1,000 rupees a meter garment fabric or 200 rupees a meter garment fabric, But ready to wear is produced for masses. They produce 200 pieces to 500 pieces to 1,000 pieces from that fabric collection they bought. And after a lot of research, they came up with this 5 or 6 item that fits right into that fabric mode. You see?
Yes. Ma'am, so what is the appropriate fabric for the ready-to-wear collection?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
What she's asking, Anjali is asking is if she wants to design a ready-to-wear garment, what's the best fabric that she should be using?
Oh, what fabric she should be using? Yeah. She wants to know.
She's also asking, can she use more than one type of a fabric in the same garment?
Oh, that you can. You can, depending on the trends, and people do use cotton, lightweight cotton, heavyweight cotton, in what you call in dresses. They do different prints, but same fabric. They do print blocking, they do color blocking. That's been in the trend for quite some time. But 2 different fabrics, I highly recommend you make a top and a bottom separate. Because top fabric is a little bit, you want to cover yourself. It is a little bit coverage, and the lightweight fabric can go into skirt. When it flows a little bit better, you might have a lining underneath. So that is possible. You may be making a dress, a sleeve can be lighter weight fabric, the whole body can be one. Yes, that is possible.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am, how we can collab with big brands?
She's asking how can we collaborate with big brands?
Depending on if that big brand does manufacturing in your city. I have to very nicely and very to the point explain it to you that from now on, the Lakshman Rekha kehvaay ne aapne, Sita ni. You are limited to where you're at because of this COVID thing. I'm a Gujarati, by the way. I can speak Gujarati fluently, just so you know. Okay, so and I was born in Ahmedabad, an Ahmedabadi girl. Okay, so I want to change my chain of thoughts. Yes, if you are working around Arvind Mill, whatever they can produce, and if they start believing in you and have a confidence in you as a designer, they might do a lot more things how you want it to go forward. If you are working for Garden Mills, you are living in Surat, yes. So, and then you make your brand for where you want to work for. You can, you want to work for a West Side, H&M, you want to work for Seasons, you have to be in Baroda. You are working for Bandage, you have to be in Ahmedabad. And then you have to passionate for what they do. It is very important. If you know Bandhani, and then only maybe Bandage would give you a chance, because they already know a lot more than you know as you are walking in. They might have 50 years of experience, 30 years of experience, and you're walking in with 3 years of experience in college, but nothing else. So you cannot just walk in and say, this is what we want to do, and let's do this. And you have to be very humble as you go in. And you learn all the process they are doing. You know, you grasp whatever you want to do. I highly recommend as a student, you work with every brand or whoever is around your neighborhood, learn whatever you can. Then you can move on from another cities. I'm not saying अहमदाबाद के लोग अहमदाबाद में ही रहो, ऐसा नहीं कह रही मैं. आप चंडीगढ़ भी जा सकते हो, दिल्ली भी जा सकते हो, आसाम भी जा सकते हो, हाँ, मद्रास भी जा सकते हो. Anybody who loves to weave, do plaids and stripes and stuff, my God, it's a beautiful place to be. You can design so much. You want to do all kinds of work. You can just be anywhere, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, wherever you want to be. But get to know what you want to do first. And that's why when you design vertical, start thinking what you can do with the white fabric. Then design garment. Just like Zara is actually a vertical manufacturer. Not many people know. And that's a good thing about Zara, by the way. They produce their own fabric. That's why Zara's quality of fabrics is nowhere around. But when you buy something in a local shop, that same fabric might be 5 kilometers away in a different shop. You know? And Zara's mills would produce exactly what Zara wants. So the designer have a lot of flexibility of thinking the design process right from the start. But in the luxury market, you just go to the shop, whatever they have, you pick out. If your customer wants, you design it for that one garment, and you are done. So it is very fascinating about ready to wear. You can create a lot of things. Whereas luxury garments, you have to work with what you got. You know? Anybody have a question?
Ma'am, Urvashi, am I audible?
Yeah, carry on.
Ma'am, my question is basically ready to wear is comes under fast fashion, right? So what is the future of fast fashion as we are talking about COVID-19, and as we can see that the fashion is going to slow down a little bit because of the situation. So what is the future of fast fashion, because it also comes under ready to wear, I guess.
Fast fashion, I understand it differently, honey. Ready to wear is different than fast fashion. Ready to wear is made to do a production, whether it is 2,000 rupees or Giorgio Armani $1,000 piece. It's still a ready to wear. And that Giorgio Armani does a classic pieces that last for season after season after season. You don't throw it away. The trendy fashions that come at a lot reasonable prices are fast fashion. Am I making a little bit more sense? Like classic pieces, double-breasted menswear suit, a single-breasted menswear suit. It's a classic piece. Yeah. You know? Our Indian sari is a classic piece. No matter what you do with it, it's going nowhere.
Okay.
All right. So, yeah. And a t-shirt, believe it or not, it's a classic t-shirt. Everybody wears it in every different color, different fashion, different embellishment, different printing processes. You know, it's a classic piece.
एक सेकंड रुको बाबा.
आपको कोई कोड है तो इसमें कोड.
Yeah, somebody was. Just carry on.
Lost chain of thought. Parapet, for example. Let me explain it to you, and you probably are very familiar with this. You've been wearing very narrow pants for last 10 years. Am I correct? That has become so classic, right? But now extremely fitted pair of pants is very trendy, and that's gonna move out. Got it? But pant is a pant is a pant is a pant, right? Now, narrow pant, if you had bought it, you can still wear it for any season going forward. But I happen to love the wide leg pants. Wide leg pants, if it's a 30 inches bottom, by the way, if you can imagine, 30-inch bottom, it will stay for 1 or 2 seasons and it will go out. Okay. Now, if you have a 24 bottom, maybe it's kind of what we call palazzo. It might go under the kurti, might stay a little bit classic for a little longer time. Got it? Now, all those white pants are going shorter. That trend might phase out, but if you bought it at a cheaper price point, you don't mind throwing it out in a while. But if you invest money in a classic pieces, it never goes out of style. And you have to develop a taste. That is another thing I didn't mention, but it's the most important thing, key thing for your brand to be your level of taste. What you like as a designer, what you don't like as a designer is very important. You have to develop a taste from here to here to here to here to here to here. And it takes a long time to get there. You know, you might have a client at this level, then you might have a client this level. You might come here, you might have a client here. You know, Giorgio Armani is the classic designer. You know, he never even have any designers to design for. You know, Valentino do such a beautiful work on surface embellishment. Christian Dior, Maria Grazia, Churi, how beautifully she does. She used to design purse, shoes, accessories for Valentino. When Valentino retired, Pierre and Churi started designing Valentino. Now Christian Dior retires and calls Maria to come and design for me, but her level changed from here to here to here. Now, nobody can design Christian Dior better than she can. You know, Donna Karan, I don't know if you know Donna Karan. She used to design Anne Klein. Long time. Anne Klein fired her. She didn't like her taste. She didn't quite understand where Donna Karan was coming from. But then again, when Anne Klein passed away, Anne Klein House hired Donna Karan because she's the only one who knew whatever she knew can do. She shaped up and designed the best collection ever. And then she fell off and wanted to do Donna Karan. Now she just retired. So all of this can happen, but you really have to know the quality of design, the sense of design. Do you like the minimalism? Do you like modernism? Do you like avant-garde? Do you like art deco? You know, that's the neo-deco is coming up, the biggest thing now, going forward. Modernism, sustainability, how are you going to do all that? So you have to know how you're going to produce something from nothing, or how you're going to make something old and make it new again. You know, take all your saris and make some gowns or do something with it. Some skirts, some dresses, design, you know?
Yeah, so let me just step in here. Varsha ma'am has made a very, very important point, which I feel you should, you know, pay attention to. Ek to, Pallavi just explain the difference between ready to wear and fast fashion. I think there's some confusion. People are not very sure on that.
Yes.
थोड़ा सा बताओ. हाँ.
There are two categories. हम लोग एक फैड पढ़ते हैं फैशन में. फैड की जो फैशन साइकिल जब हम पढ़ते हैं, हम फैड पढ़ते हैं. एक फैशन आता है और बहुत जल्दी चला जाता है. फास्ट फैशन इज बेसिकली द फैशन जो फैड में आता है. ठीक है, जैसे बीच में हमारी आई थी क्यूलॉथ पैंट आई थी कुर्ते के साथ पहनने के लिए. कुछ टाइम तक रही, बट पैंट्स फिर चली गई बैक टू सिगरेट पैंट्स अगेन. ठीक है, बैक टू सिगरेट पैंट्स और प्लाजोज और लेगिंग्स. ठीक है, सो फास्ट फैशन इज बेसिकली वो वाला फैशन जो फैड में आता है, थोड़े टाइम के लिए रहता है पर चला जाता है. जरूरी नहीं है कि वो चीज पहले नहीं है. जैसे हम लोग पैंट्स की बात कर रहे थे मैम, तो अगर पैंट है तो वो भी पैंट का ही पार्ट, बट वो कुछ टाइम के लिए था फिर चला गया. बट बाकी बेसिक डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ पैंट्स आर स्टिल, you're still wearing denims, you're still wearing cotton trousers, you're still wearing palazzos or still wearing leggings. So and ready to wear is something which is readily available in a store. You just have, आपको बस जाना है, उसको खरीदना है और लेके आना है. चाहे वो आप एक बहुत ही एक्सपेंसिव ब्रांड से खरीदो, चाहे वो आप 500 रुपीज का खरीदो, चाहे आप वो 5000 रुपीज का खरीदो, जो भी रेडिली अवेलेबल क्लोथिंग है जो आप एकदम कंज्यूम कर सकते हो, वो रेडी टू वेयर होता है। और फास्ट फैशन होता है जो कुछ टाइम के लिए होता है और फिर चला जाता है। होता वो भी क्लोथिंग है, रेडी टू वेयर है, बट वो कुछ टाइम के लिए होता है और वो चला जाता है। Any more questions?
Somebody called Rohit has raised his hand. Rohit, do you want to ask something? Rohit Mishra? No? So no more questions. Should we finish this session?
We can.
Okay, so getting back to what I think, it's been a very informative session, Varshaji. I think even though I'm not a fashion design person, I have also learned quite a few things today, and I feel this is very relevant information which the students should be, if they haven't understood, I would want them to watch the video again, because this video is going to be available on YouTube. प्लीज आप इसको देखो, अगर आपको नहीं समझ आ रहा अपने टीचर्स को इन्वॉल्व करो, बिकॉज दिस इज इम्पोर्टेंट इंफॉर्मेशन जो आपको समझनी चाहिए और यूज करनी चाहिए। ठीक है, वर्षा जी हैज टॉक्ड अबाउट थिंग्स व्हिच आर वेरी रेलेवेंट फॉर टुडे। आज जो हमारी सिचुएशन है इकोनॉमी की और फैशन इंडस्ट्री की, व्हाटएवर इज हैपनिंग राइट नाउ, शी हैज एड्रेस्ड दैट, एंड दैट मेक्स इट वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू टू understand, because आपका अगर आप if you're doing this course, आपका ये course खत्म होता है, you're going to step out into the market, and this is the information that you require when you start working. So please, I would tell you again, go back, watch that video. अगर आपके टीचर ने देखा है, that's nice. अगर उन्होंने नहीं देखा है, tell them to make you understand अगर आपको नहीं समझ आया, because there was a lot of information. We did try to translate quite a bit of it, but there were some portions which we might have forgotten or left out. So please isko dobara se dekho, ask your teachers to take you through the video all over again, so that you get a better idea of what is happening. Fine. और अगर अभी भी किसी को कुछ पूछना है, they can ask, otherwise we'll finish the session here. So anybody? Chalo, okay, fine. Thank you so much, Varsha ma'am. So we'll get back to you, and maybe we'll whatever next you have planned for, we will figure out when you have the session again.